The way the cities are growing, and when you study the city planning, which is as old as perhaps Mohenjo-daro, Harappa, or even older, there was a whole lot of city planning that is there in our own scriptures, in our own texts, in the global text, in the Greek text, in the Egyptian text. Everyone had city planning. So where did we lose in the last 50 years? What happens that our growth became disproportionate to the aspirations of the people, the growth, that become disproportionate to the resources available, where we actually went wrong, and most importantly, how do we set it back into the right path? The bad news is some of the cities, like the most polluted capital in the world, the most water depleted city in the world, the second most flood-prone city in the world, they are all in our country, because our country has grown. It has grown enormously. But the good news is a city like Surat is also there in this country, which is the third LEED Platinum city in the world, which has got a LEED certification, which is a global recognition for its environmental compliance as a city level, which is unimaginable, the kind of coordination that it needs. So with this, I will invite Ms. Tara, who is Joint Secretary of Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, and who has got a brilliant track record of creating master plans, delivering smart city, and the smart city programs in Gujarat.
City planning has been a very interesting topic, but somehow all our cities have lost our way while planning, as far as planning is concerned. Unfortunately, planning capabilities in India needs to be really ramped up. We have done an Ahmedabad master plan, we have done Gandhinagar master plan, and in Gujarat there is a framework where if you make a master plan, you will follow it through town planning schemes and implement it in those sections and then deliver it accordingly. So the master plan essentially gives a zonation. This is residential, this is this thing. So to that extent, you have some semblance of, some structured way of functioning in the city. But the master plan, when you are giving building bylaws, we say you have to plant in your piece of land, 5% of the land should be dedicated to trees. So by writing that, we all think that ho jayega, it will happen, and there should be rainwater harvesting. Okay, who's going to see that, enforce that, how will it be done? Our problem is we are very good in writing concepts. Our problem is we don't really anticipate the implementation inadequacies which we have in our cities. So the most important aspect is to see how can we build the implementation capabilities of the cities. You cannot have very under-capacitated structures and ask them to perform, some other, marathon or something. So first of all, we have to not empower cities, but build capabilities in the cities.
The most prevalent health condition or health disorder is sleep disorder. 50% of the people on this globe suffer from they can't sleep properly. And most of us take it for granted. Some of us pop a pill, some of us say it's because of stress, it's because of whatever. There are 2-3 things that are happening. 20% of people are sleeping on beds which are geopathically stressed. Many people, at least 20 to 30%, are watching TV before they sleep. So why is TV watching bad, or why is looking at your mobile or looking at your WhatsApp immediately before you sleep bad? Because it's got blue light. LEDs, we use LEDs all the time. That also has the same phenomena. So my proposition is very simple, that we must look at the health aspect of any technology that we are introducing. That is normally not looked at. When we adopt a new technology, we adopt it either because it is economical or because it makes things faster or more comfortable for people.
When you have to deal with existing cities, with existing neighborhoods, it's very difficult than if you have to create a new city, design a new city from scratch, no? Because you are intervening in an existing urban life. And the paradox that we find is that we see expanding cities, but diminishing urban spaces. Because urban spaces are more and more contested between different players and stakeholders.
Sustainability is not somebody's job, it's everybody's job, right? And the urbanization, the rate at which the urbanization is happening, and unless and until everyone contributes, my personal opinion, it's highly impossible to attain the sustainability, right? An estimated population of almost about 377 million Indians, that's about 31%, is living in urban areas as on date. And that is likely to touch almost double, 650, by the year 2050. When I went waterless, what happens? 4 years, just 4 years after a massive flood, a city goes dry, and it was referred as the next Cape Town, right? So what is actually wrong? Is it planning? Is it thinking? But it is, most of the time, it is the implementation. Once again, I take Ms. Tara's words. We are great strategists. We put a lot of plans on the paper, on the map. But how much we are able to implement? And that's one question which I would put forward. And if we think the implementation is a failure of the government, of any other department, of any other organization, we are dumb, right? It is our individual's failure. We have to take this forward as individuals, as organizations, as departments, and then as governments. And that is where we can make the change.
One of the key things that we have seen that most panelists have spoken about when we talk about urban space management is the space has been taken more from a resource point of view, that as to how do we manage the urban resources. And one key aspect is that cities are growing. How do we manage these cities? Because urbanization and cities is something that every one of us likes, and that's something that has continued to grow. And everyone supports it because cities are harbingers of better economy, better job, progress, and all of that. One aspect that is clearly coming out as we discuss on cities is we all have heard of this roti kapda makan being the most important things for us. But two other things that seem to be coming out very clearly, which seem to be very critical for people, is hawa and pani. So air and water seems to be something that every one of us are concerned. While we do speak about what is happening in Chennai on water, we know for a fact that there is no city in India where water is not a problem. Every major city in India is facing a water crisis. We can definitely have a very good forward-looking future. We do see some projects, let's say in Gujarat, we are speaking to some of the cities where district cooling is being implemented and things like that. So there are some projects that are taking off, and basis this we can see how we can take it forward.